This is super fast and very nice. Hello my friends, and how are you doing? Today we're gonna have a look at the Shuttle 3 Diffusion model. It renders in only 4 steps with Flux quality and works both in Forge and ComfUI. We're gonna check out both. Let's get started. So first let's check out some examples here. On the left side we have the Shuttle 3 Diffusion image. On the right side we have the FLUX Shuttle, both of them rendering with 4 steps. As you can see, you get amazing quality with the Shuttle 3 Diffusion model. Here we have another example. You can see a lot more details, also sticks closer to the prompt. So with the Shuttle 3 Diffusion model, the prompt here is that we have this waterfall at night in the jungle with these glowing fireflies, and all of that is there with a lot of very nice detail. Here we have this tiger holding a card with this heart on it, and you can see very nice colors, very nice details, also holds the card very nice in his hand, so all of that really beautiful. Next image here, you can see this also works very good with text, has a good text coherence. Here I have the combination of text and this heart, and she's also holding that card, and all of that looks very nice, very beautiful details. Again, also in the background, very nice. So here we have an anime style image. Again, we have a lot of detail in the image and we have very nice colors, so that all is very good. What you can also do is, like I showed you before with my Super Flux workflow, that you add in the advanced K-sampler additional steps based on the original rendering. And as you can see here, this will add some additional details and even fix some parts out. So that is actually really good. However, this same technique creates strange looks with faces and also goes away from that photo look more into a digital painting look or airbrush look. So for photo styles, it's not that great to use that extra trick with these additional steps. However, you can do upscaling and still get a beautiful quality. Now let's look at the Hugging Face page. Here you of course can download the models and you can get some extra information about that. See some beautiful examples here. You have here how to use it locally, and then if you scroll a little bit lower, you have here some information about ComfUI, how to do that. Here you have the save tensor file. You can download that with that link, and here is the download button. Now it is very important here to point out that in ComfUI, it goes into the models folder and there into the diffusion models folder. This is different for Automatic 1111 or Forge UI, where it goes in the normal stable diffusion folder instead. When you've downloaded that model, you can use it in Forge UI just like a normal model. So you go to the Flux mode up here, you load the checkpoint, you go with the Clip Vision L save tensor and the T5XXL model, and then also of course the Flux VAE file, and then enter your prompt. Adjust your settings down here. I'm using the sampler Euler with the scheduler simple. I'm using 4 steps. Here the distilled CFG scale actually plays a role, and I get very nice details with the 3.5 setting here. You can also try other values in there, and then of course set up your size. In this case I set it to 1024 by 1024, and as you can see the result is pretty nice. However, I have to point out that it for me runs faster in ComfUI and also gives me better results. So let's check out what this looks like inside of ComfUI. And of course, if you're one of my Patreon supporters, you get this workflow that I have built for you that also has some extra functions in here. Here are the basic functions that you need to run this model. So when we go over here, we have of course here our load diffusion model node where we load that, set the weight type like this. We have the dual clip loader. We have the same models as I said before for Forge UI, and of course the type here is FLUX. Of course, you're using here your normal clip text encoder for the positive and negative prompt. The reason why you can't see the text in here is because I'm linking it from the outside, because I have another workflow that uses just the FLUX model. Up here you can see that I have in this case connected a FLUX guidance for 2.5, but actually doesn't really make a difference if you bypass that or not. I leave it in because then you can try it out. You can of course right click and then simply bypass that to not use it. Here in this case I'm using a K-Sampler Advanced because again I'm using my trick for additional steps. Here I'm using 4 steps of course with the Euler and Simple, and then next to that I built in the preview chooser from the CG image picker pack, and there this will pause the workflow until I have selected one of these images. You can see here for the preview we have these 4 images. You can click on them to see them even larger, and then over here you can select the images you want to progress with and then click here on progress selected. Of course that is already everything you have to do if you want to stop here. If you want to do more than that, this is how I built the addition. So I'm sending the latent from up here into a second K-sampler. Now this is using 12 steps in total, but only rendering step 5 to 12 with the Euler Simple combination here for the rendering. And then of course we have here the output, so you can be happy with that if you want to, or you send this down to Ultimate SD Upscaler where I'm using Euler Beta because I'm getting some nicer results with that. Also only 4 steps, and here in this case I'm using the Real Web Photo upscaling model, which gives me a softer image but also a little bit darker image. So instead you can also use the super scale model from NMKD, or maybe also the NMKD CX200K model, or the foolhardy Remarky model. You have different choices, whatever you want to use. Try around with different upscalers to see what you get at the best result, especially of course if you do anime images. And then of course, just to point this out, I built the same workflow again over here, but here I am loading with the unit loader the FLUX One Schnell model, and then also here we're using the dual clip loader, so we have comparable results for both. And then up here in the middle we have our prompt input that goes to both directions, so I don't have to change that over. I find this model really fantastic. The quality is top notch, so try it out. It's super fast, especially in ComfUI. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching and see you soon. Bye.